But I will pull up this video here. This is from Dr. Natalie Sparring, the IFB Physique Pro. And she's been competing for quite some time. She's also qualified for the 2025 Masters Olympia. I reached out to her for, I know my man David interviewed a while back. I reached out for an interview because she was like here in the States doing a couple of shows. Maybe I get back with her, but she's really been training. This is what it means when you are an athlete and you're working and you're training and you're prepping. This is the fundamentals of what people need to understand, what's involved in being a bodybuilder. So we'll pull it up here. And here she is.
Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2025. So I haven't done an update for a while about where I am with my training. So now I'm preparing for the Masters Olympia in Tokyo. That's going to happen in August. Now the date has been moved up by 2 weeks. So that doesn't sound like a lot, but actually it's quite significant because it does change a little bit within my prep schedule. So I've been in off season since the end of or middle of September, since I did the UK Pro. So that means I've been in off season for just over 3 months, and I probably have 2 to 3 months to go. I'm hoping to have more than less time, so I'm really pushing for 3 months of off season still, but that's going to depend how much I weigh and how lean I can stay over the next couple months. So I might start cutting or going back into my diet on the 1st of March, which is what I did last year for a competition at around the same time. So last year I competed on the 16th of August. This year I'll be on the 9th and 10th of August. So that is going to change how we plan my the rest of my season here going into August. I don't have much planned for after August yet. I'm going to see how I do at that event, and then I'll see what competitions I want to do after that. But for now, the aim is purely for the Tokyo event. I have done well in my off season so far. So I've gained about 30 pounds. Yeah, 30 pounds. And I had a DEXA scan just a few weeks or a week or two ago, and it showed that my body fat has stayed I've only gained about 8 pounds of body fat, and the rest of it apparently is lean tissue, but also lean tissue is measured as like all your organs, your bone density, and everything else. So I've gained about 10 kilograms-ish of lean tissue. So that accounts for the 30 pounds. I'm at 170 pounds now. I'm 5'3", if anyone is wondering. So I would be considered obese by BMI scale, but I'm definitely not obese because I definitely still have abs. So there you go. The BMI scale is really useless for anyone who does proper training, to be fair, who has lots more muscle than the average human or average woman in my case. So the goal now is to continue putting on muscle mass because that's where I really lagged down, especially lagged behind everyone else in my upper body. So improving the amount of density to my upper back and my shoulders and arms, and improving the width of my back too. So like making everything wider, which will then make my waist look smaller, and as well as keeping my upper body big. So my legs have definitely grown in size, my thighs, my glutes, and that all comes with just regular training for me. I have more of a hard time putting on muscle mass in my upper body, but I'm easier at getting lean in my upper body. So that's actually the case for probably most women anyway. I'm pretty good at putting on muscle in my legs. So for that, I mean, I'm still continuing to work hard with my legs. I'm not going to not train because overall I need to have more muscle mass basically to be more competitive. So that's where I am right now. So I'm heading into hopefully 2 to 3 months more of bulking or gaining more muscle while not gaining too much fat, hopefully not more than a few more pounds. And that will make it easier for me to cut. So last year around this time, I was heading towards 190 pounds. So that's partially why my cut was so long, because I just weighed so much. I did actually get a bit fat. So if you remember what I looked like then, I look a bit smaller in a different way. Right now, I look more jacked now. That's what people are saying to me because my upper body is wider and my clothes definitely fit differently. But last year, I just kind of got kind of soft and round overall, and I didn't gain as much muscle as I have this year. So I'm in a much better place, which is good. And I'm just going to continue training hard, stick to my diet plan, which has been hard over Christmas. I did a lot of traveling before Christmas. Some of you may know I went to India, and then I went to the States for Christmas. So it's been a lot happening. But now I'm back, and I'm kind of focused for the next 9 months to really. 9 months would be into September to really optimize my performance in August. So more videos to come. I will also be posting some videos of training and what I'm doing in terms of training and also my diet over the next few months. But right now, we're still trying to gain muscle, and that means working hard in the gym, sleeping well, and eating the right amount of food with the right amount of macronutrients. So I hope everyone's had a nice first week of the new year, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Now that's a good point where she talks about how what's important about develop muscle. You need rest, recovery. There's a lot involved in it, and this is one thing, as we know, the fundamentals of developing muscle. It's a process. And my man here, Keith, he's a coach and a judge at IFB Pro, and he shared experience as a competitor, the work you put in, the time you put in, and I know it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's right now, like she said, we talk about off-season mode. Well, I'm in off-season mode as well. What she was talking about, because again, we're all headed to Tokyo and they moved it up 2 weeks. So, for us Master Olympia, competitors, we're trying to get ourselves dialed in, and I'm actually doing a couple shows actually before Tokyo. So, off season is for off season, and then getting dialed in for that show. But like she says, a lot of people think, the unfortunate thing about the fallacy about our sport is that, oh, it's not for everybody, because the definition of sanity of what we do is crazy, because we're not on stage for that long. But the diet, the cardio, the getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, eating the 6-7 meals a day, getting up at 1 o'clock in the morning because you forgot to eat a meal and have to get up and laying next to my bed, drinking a drink or eating a grapefruit or having a meal or whatever the case may be, getting up, doing the training, after doing cardio, 2 hours later, go to the gym. It's a lot of goddamn work. So what people have to understand, it takes, I look at this sport for some people, I love it when people go to the gym and says, I'm a bodybuilder. And I'm like, really? You are? There's gym rats and there's bodybuilders. And what we do as, some of the top amateurs, and I'm not saying because I'm a pro that this discredits the top amateurs or amateurs that are have the ambitions to one day be a pro. But again, at the end of the day, when it comes to this sport, it takes a lot, to get in this sport, to train like we do, to eat like we do, to do the cardio, and all these other things that people think is so easy, and it's not. And it's expensive as shit on top of that. So she's absolutely right, when it comes to watching your body fat, making sure you're putting on the right kind of muscle, weight to make sure that you're putting on the muscle in the right areas, that, if a judge, or when you're looking in the mirror saying, I need to grow in this aspect of my area or bring my waistline down. There's a lot of elements to this sport that people don't understand that we have to go through in order to make sure that we're ready when we get on stage. Because at the end of the day, this is our job, or one of our jobs.
Mm-hmm. We got a comment from my man XA Gucci 23. Shout out to XA. He says, hey George, Paige, and chat. Thank you, brother. How you doing? He says, he says, Happy New Year, everyone, and chat. Thank you, brother. Happy New Year to you too. Also, we have here, this is from Brock F5. He just dropped this a while ago while we were talking, and he mentioned this. We're gonna pull it. I think about getting myself a new computer. He says this. He says, Tyler just announced the payout for women's physique division Pittsburgh Pro. First gets 10,000, second gets 7,000, and third gets 5,000. Well, that's pretty good. I remember that year Sarah put up about $10,000 one year, and that was the year Natalia won that money. So, but still, compared to the others, we're getting like $50,000 and $200,000 here. But still, you got to think about it. There's going to be a lot of women going to jump on that show. And, for any competitors who just heard this, I'm going to post it on my IG later on. Maybe anybody who wants to, jump on that show, Pittsburgh is in. I think it's right about after or before. I can't remember. Was it after or before New York? No, I think it's I'm trying to remember. It gotta be. I think it's no. It was gotta be after. It was after St. Louis, but St. Louis is gone. So I think it's before New York and Toronto. So that's gotta be right about June. So yeah. But anyway, this thing is about building muscle. It's a process. The training, the diet, the workout, and this division coming in is telling you, You don't need to get up and work and train. You just gotta just do the basics. Just stay on a simple diet. Like lose a little, shed a little baby fat, but not the work you really have to put in.
Right. It's the syndrome. It's what I call the syndrome. Have you ever watched the movie The Incredibles
Yes.
by Disney? And the bad guy is called Syndrome. And his nefarious evil plan is to make basically everybody superheroes. That's his plan, is to be able to sell all of his inventions so that everybody everywhere can be superheroes. And that's his way of getting revenge, because then he says, when everybody is a superhero, no one will be. And so it's along these same lines. That's why I call it the syndrome. Is like trying to make it appeal to absolutely everybody. But if you do that, it loses its uniqueness. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's like Cheese has been saying. It's like Trish Wood was saying. It's like everybody's trying to be average. There is a famous short story by Kurt Vonnegut, who was one of America's preeminent novelists. It's called Harrison Bergeron. And he wrote this like 40, 50 years ago. And it's practically a prediction of where we are today. And in Harrison Bergeron, they passed these 3 amendments to the Constitution that make absolutely everybody equal, middle of the road. No one can be smarter than anyone else. If you do, they put on these earphones that interfere with your thinking. If you're stronger than other people, they put weights in your body so that you will have more trouble moving. And they try to do all of these different things because no one can be exceptional. If you're exceptionally beautiful as a woman, you're forced to wear ugly masks in order to hide your beauty. And he predicted this 50 years ago with this story. And we're actually living it today.
Yeah.
That everybody is trying to they're trying to make everybody middle of the road. And that's what Harrison Bergeron is cursed with. He's the title character because he's incredibly strong, he's incredibly smart, and he's incredibly handsome. So everybody wants him dead because of that. And so Kurt predicted this half a century ago, that we were going to be going this way. And look at where we are. I mean, that's the so-called logic that Tyler was talking about, was trying to it's exactly this mentality. It's trying to make this appealing to everybody, and this isn't for everybody.
Well,
It's supposed to be unique. It's supposed to be exceptional. It's supposed to be extraordinary. That's why people actually are fans of it in the first place, is because of the fact it's unusual, the fact that it's extraordinary. So this mentality that trying to make everything the middle of the road, I mean, this was predicted 50 years ago, and back then people were like, got the point, and said, oh, well, we should have exceptional. But look at where we are now. It's the syndrome. And it's coming, and it's here live and in color with yet another division trying to make it so that absolutely everybody can be a bodybuilder, because if everybody's a bodybuilder, then no one will be. So,
hey, my saying is I actually have my brand that says "fuck average." I don't want to be average. I don't want to be like everybody else. In order what I do, I don't want everybody to be able to do. I don't want everybody to be able to train like I do, lift, eat like I mean. At the end of, you can try it. I hear guys all the time. It's like, well, if I was only taking, no, motherfucker, I can give you the same shit I take, the same foods I eat. You won't look nothing like me because, like Ronnie Coleman best said, everybody wants to be a bodybuilder.